An Anna Nicole Smith shocker.
The battle over the paternity of Anna Nicole's baby daughter has shifted to this courthouse in the Bahamas.
Now her mother is in the Bahamas seeking custody of the baby, and why Larry Burkhead may have really parted ways with his high-profile lawyer. And they're at it again. Trump slams Rosie.
The concept of Rosie hanging upside down is, to me, disgusting.
Rosie slams Trump.
1, 2, 3. Come on, Susan. There you go.
The feud that will not die. Then, big salute to Fox 5. 40 years on the air.
Take one, Bill.
From the very first newscast to now.
Why was it such a radical idea to start a newscast at 10 o'clock?
Plus, just 5 hours after giving birth, the college coach is back on the basketball court. Brand new moms March Madness. Now, Inside Edition Weekend.
Drama in the Bahamas as the fight over Anna Nicole Smith's baby resumes. Hello, I'm Diane McInerney, and thanks for joining us here on Fox 5. Paul Boyd is in the Bahamas with the latest on the paternity battle, and there were some stunning developments in the case. Paul?
The battle over the paternity of Anna Nicole's baby daughter has shifted to this courthouse in the Bahamas, and with a stunning twist. Now, Anna Nicole's mother is here asking a judge to give her custody of the child. This was drawn-out legal battle in California, Florida, and the Bahamas. But Friday came a terse statement. Larry Burkhead and I have terminated our attorney-client relationship effective immediately. My prayers will be with Larry and Danny Lynn always.
What we have heard is that Deborah Opry was unhappy with something that she was asked to do and that she had an ethical problem with it.
Inside Edition has learned that the split developed 3 weeks ago. TMZ.com reported that Burkhead fired Opry by email. And Fox News Channel has obtained what it says is a written fax from Anna Nicole's psychiatrist, Dr. Christine Narosevich, to another Los Angeles physician, Dr. Sandeep Kapoor. It's marked confidential and says, here are the medications for M. Chase. M. Chase is an alias used by Anna Nicole. The fax asks for a laundry list of prescription drugs, methadone, Dilaudid, lorazepam, Soma, all powerful painkillers. It was sent 1 week after Danny Lynn was born, but Dr. Kapoor's attorney says he refused to send the drugs.
Now the latest on Regis Philbin's recovery from open heart surgery. The 75-year-old talk show host is in a New York City hospital where he underwent a triple bypass. His sidekick, Kelly Ripa, kept fans updated on his condition. She also had some other plans for Reg.
Relief for Regis Philbin. The talk show host is recovering from what doctors are calling successful open heart surgery. A jubilant Kelly Ripa announced the good news and said Reg is already showing signs of his old self.
Regis has asked that instead of sending emails, you now just send him directly $1 apiece.
And Kelly showed off a special get-well gift for Regis.
The New York Post sent this great, look at this, Regis.
That's great.
How about that? Get well soon, Regis, from your friends at the Post.
Regis underwent triple bypass surgery at the Weill Cornell Medical Center here in New York City, where the talk show host is now recovering. He's expected to be hospitalized for a full week.
The TV legend's operation was performed by Dr. Wayne Isom, a nationally prominent physician known for doing emergency quintuple bypass on Regis's good pal, David Letterman, in 2000.
The cardiac cowboy, Dr. Wayne Isom, right here.
Letterman so admired Isom, he invited the doctor and the hospital staff on his first show back after his recovery. Isom's also treated other famous patients, including Larry King and Walter Cronkite. Bill Clinton even called him when he needed heart surgery, but the doctor was on vacation and recommended somebody else. Dr. Isom appeared on Larry King Live Thursday night, where he talked about Regis's prognosis.
Larry, he did really well. He's a great patient, came in with a positive attitude. He and Joy were right there the whole time. Joy's been very supportive, and he came through with flying colors.
I caught up with Anderson Cooper, who was the first in a series of substitutes filling in for Regis, who will be off the air for at least the next 5 weeks.
It was difficult under these circumstances. We all want Regis to come back as quickly as possible, and you know, I was very happy to try to fill in his shoes.
Meanwhile, Kelly Ripa, who once dressed up as a sexy nurse on her show Hope and Faith, promised Regis that she would help him on the road to recovery with some very special TLC.
My primary job will be your sponge bath nurse.
And it looks like Kelly plans to follow through with her vow.
Nursey Pooh is coming with her sponge.
Angelina Jolie is a mom again. The actress adopted another child, this time from Vietnam. Les Trent has first pictures of the adorable little boy.
That's Angelina Jolie leaving a Vietnamese orphanage where she adopted a 3-year-old boy and gave him a new name. Here he is, Pax Tien Jolie. His name means peaceful sky. Angelina arrived at the orphanage in a minivan Thursday morning with her 5-year-old son, Maddox, whom she adopted in neighboring Cambodia in 2002. Angelina carried Maddox past waiting photographers to meet his new brother. The little boy cried at first, but Angelina comforted him, saying, "No problem," in Vietnamese. Angelina's bodyguard used an umbrella to shield her new son from photographers as he was loaded into the minivan.
His life will be radically different from anything that he's known. He is going to be part of an A-list Hollywood family. That's an experience most American children will never have.
Though Brad Pitt was not with Angelina in Vietnam, he plans to raise the boy with Jolie. A spokesperson for the couple tells People.com, Brad very much wanted to be there, but is under contract working on a film in Los Angeles and as a result couldn't go. With Hollywood royalty for parents, big things are in store for this lucky little guy.
And Vietnamese officials say little Pax was initially caught off guard because he wasn't told he was being adopted that day. Later on, he cheered up and was even playing with Maddox. Well, here we go again. Donald Trump reignites the feud with Rosie O'Donnell. April Woodard on what prompted the latest outburst.
It looks scary, but it's not.
It's a bizarre TV moment. Rosie O'Donnell hanging upside down. It's how she treats her mental depression. Now her flip-flop on live TV is sparking a new skirmish with her old enemy, Donald Trump.
The concept of Rosie hanging upside down is to me disgusting because I think she's a disgusting person and a disgusting creature.
Trump's new attack follows Rosie's revelations on The View that she hangs upside down for as much as a half hour each day.
I'm upside down for an average of, 15 to 30 minutes a day.
But Trump told Inside Edition he isn't sympathetic.
When Rosie hangs upside down, I would pay a lot of money to get out of the room.
24 hours later, Rosie fired back as all 4 co-hosts mocked Trump's hairstyle.
That's funny, Mr. Woo. But,
That same Rosie hair flip was the first shot fired when the feud started back in December.
And there he is, hair looping, going, everyone deserves a second chance.
Now Trump is coming under fire for making light of Rosie's revelations about her mental depression.
It's an illness, people. Make fun as much as you want, but it's an illness.
Nobody makes fun of mental illness.
Yeah, Donald Trump does.
So is Rosie's method of hanging upside down a legitimate treatment for depression or just an ineffective stunt? Opinion is divided among mental health experts.
What Rosie's doing is called inversion therapy. If she does the inversion therapy and also does some breathing exercises, some regular talk therapy, it really could help.
Now Trump's criticism of Rosie's therapy has led to this salute.
1, 2, 3. Come on, Susie. There you go.
Now call her supermom. A basketball coach is back on the sideline only 5 hours after giving birth.
Basketball coach and brand new mom Carol Russell gives a whole different meaning to the phrase March Madness. Carol gave birth to her son Isaac Monday. Then a mere 5 hours later, here she is back in action coaching a game.
I think I almost gave my assistant coach a heart attack because he did a double take when he turned and saw me sitting on the bench.
Husband Todd Sorensen.
Carol is just amazing to me. Go through what she went through and then decide to go do the basketball game. It's just incredible.
Carol is a coach for the women's hoops team at the University of Nebraska-Kearney. She was in North Dakota for a playoff game when she went into labor. She told Inside Edition she could have just watched her team on a webcast, but decided it wasn't enough. After 6-pound, 14-ounce Isaac made his appearance, doctors gave Carol the okay to leave.
One of the nurses said, if you're feeling up to it, the doctor said, we might be able to get you to the game.
I was surprised that the doctors brought it up and said, yeah, if you feel okay, you can go. That's what surprised me more than anything.
So how did the team react when she showed up just 5 hours after giving birth?
They all knew I was there, so it's just a look of surprise. And then, it's just they got right back to business and got focused on the game.
Mom and baby are doing fine. Her basketball team, not so good. They lost to the University of North Dakota.
So you think strutting down the catwalk is easy? Well, take a look at this.
Check this out. That's Carmen Electra at a Hollywood fashion show. She blows the crowd a kiss, heads up stage, and then takes a nasty fall. And look what happens when Days of Our Lives star Allison Sweeney tries to help out. It seems the hotter they are, the harder they fall.
By the way, Carmen Electra carried her shoes for her next walk down the runway. Good idea.
Next, big salute to Fox 5. 40 years on the air.
Take one, Bill.
Why was it such a radical idea to start a newscast at 10 o'clock?
Major milestone for Fox 5. Plus, father-daughter death flight. Did a man angry about his divorce crash his plane into his mother-in-law's house on purpose?
He carried out what cops say was a murder-suicide plan to get back at his ex-wife.
And Lindsay Lohan's dad. First night of freedom. Exclusive access as he returns home after 2 years in prison.
Hey!
Inside Edition Weekend will be right back.
For the hardships they endured, the misery they suffered, they could never have been prepared. For the resolve they found, to stand firm on the land that you call home, where together they first felt our nation's backbone straighten. We can never repay them. Discover the most intriguing story of America's history, the founding of Jamestown, Virginia. Every American should stand here once.
It's not simply the snow itself that's hazardous, but rather the unexpected ways it chooses to fall. The Lexus ES 350 with vehicle stability control. See your New York, New Jersey, Connecticut Lexus dealer.
Lunch for the health conscious.
Small green salad.
Lunch for the unconscious.
Give me the triple beef Buffalo Burger Supreme.
Dressing on the side.
With the chili cheese fries.
Boar's Head offers a sane alternative.
How about a Boar's Head turkey wrap?
Because our Oven Gold Turkey and 18 other heart-healthy Boar's Head products are certified by the American Heart Association. So lunch isn't all or nothing.
Can I trouble you for some hot water?
It's something wonderful. Good for you. Never tasted so good.
Son of Sam.
I'm Bill Jorgensen. This is Channel 5's 10 o'clock news.
American soldiers were pulled out of combat today.
This is absolutely amazing. The largest party in New York history.
The city of New York is much stronger. Bringing you our world, our New York.
Good evening, I'm Rosanna Scotto.
I'm Ernie Anastos.
Fox 5 News, celebrating 40 years at 10 p.m.
It's hard to fathom the lengths one man went to get revenge on his ex-wife. Police say he got a pilot's license so he could slam a plane into his mother-in-law's house. To make matters even worse, he took his 8-year-old daughter on the deadly mission. April Woodard reports.
A mother's grief. Beth Johnson is supported by relatives as she buries her only daughter, the victim of an unthinkable tragedy. 8-year-old Emily Johnson was killed after cops say her father deliberately crashed his single-engine plane into his ex-mother-in-law's house in Bedford, Indiana. Little Emily was in the plane with him. You can still see the area where this plane smashed into the side of the house. There's insulation hanging and even a mattress. One can only imagine the heart-wrenching terror that was going through Emily's mind as her father crashed his plane into her grandmother's house. Emily's grandmother, Vivian, was in the house, but miraculously escaped injury.
I thought he would do something to get back at Beth.
Beth Johnson was engaged in a bitter divorce with her ex-husband, Eric. Bent on revenge, he reportedly learned how to fly around the time of his divorce with one ultimate aim, to crash his plane into his former mother-in-law's house.
I know Eric was upset by the divorce. I know Eric loved his family deeply.
Meredith McIntyre was Eric Johnson's divorce lawyer. She can't believe he purposely crashed the plane out of spite.
If it was an intentional act, It absolutely shocks me. This gentleman was such a nice man.
A week ago, Johnson took Emily to the airport where he was learning how to fly. He buckled her in beside him. Then father and daughter took to the skies together. With his former mother-in-law's house in sight, authorities believe Johnson intentionally targeted the house, then plowed his plane right into it. He and Emily were killed instantly in the crash.
Did you ever know Eric to be suicidal?
I did not notice anything about Eric being suicidal, homicidal, anything. I really didn't.
Bob Burke, a flight instructor, has flown for 30 years. He took me up in a similar plane on the same flight path Johnson took.
Either Eric Johnson intended to land his plane and got disoriented, or he carried out what cops say was a murder-suicide plan to get back at his ex-wife.
That's the airport. You can see the runway. His mother-in-law's house is right next to the runway. This is how he was supposed to come in for a landing. But this is the approach he took instead, indicating a deliberate crash.
It was a pretty deliberate turn to get there. Plus, he had to come over the top of power lines and trees to get to the end of the house, so he had to work pretty good at it.
He was a very possessive person. He got what he wanted.
An ultimate act of spite that has shattered Beth Johnson's life.
Poor Beth Johnson is living every mother's worst nightmare, whether it's intentional or an accident. You know, she's lost a child, and my heart breaks for her.
Shortly before the crash, Beth Johnson received a phone call from her ex. In the background, she could hear her little girl calling, "Mommy, come get me." Now take a look at a whale attack. The whale slams into a boat, throwing 2 fishermen overboard. Then it comes back for the 3rd fisherman and then tosses the 2-ton boat over as if it were a toy. 1 fisherman died in the attack, which began after the whale became stranded in shallow waters off the coast of Japan. Now, it's a very big birthday here at Fox 5. 40 years ago, a New York institution, the 10 o'clock news, premiered right here. We've got a look behind the scenes at this groundbreaking broadcast.
It started 40 years ago, the metropolitan area's first look at a 10 p.m. primetime newscast. And ever since that first day, Fox 5 has never looked back.
Take one, Bill.
Legendary newsman Bill Jorgensen launched the show on March 13th, 1967.
Yosemite Park, California. This is the most difficult program in New York to produce night after night.
Later, the popular John Rowland took over, working on the broadcast for more than 35 years. Now longtime New Yorkers Rosanna Scotto and Ernie Anastos fill the anchor shoes. They spoke with our Deborah Norville.
40 years coming into somebody's home. It says a lot. It says that we have the credibility and that we're comfortable enough with people that they want us inside their bedrooms every night at 10 o'clock.
Why was it such a radical idea to start a newscast at 10 o'clock?
Well, I think that, you know, the tradition of television has always been a 6 o'clock and an 11 o'clock. I've been in New York City for over 25 years, and I remember that's all we had.
Good evening. On the
In those early days, the 10 o'clock news had quite a different look than the slick package we see today.
I've been there 21 years.
Whoa.
I can't believe that. I've seen it go from when it was really a very straightforward newscast, and now it's a very, very high production show with graphics flying in and music zings.
Rosanna Scotto, Channel 5 News.
And it's not just the look of the show that's changed.
Well, we all had our hair problems, didn't we? Yeah. It really defines the years as you go by. I'm from Brooklyn. We had big hair, you know?
You talk about how much things have changed, but one thing that hasn't changed on the 10 o'clock news, it's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your children are?
It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?
The 10 o'clock news actually coined that legendary question in 1969.
That's a traditional line that stays. I think everybody remembers the station to this day. When I run into people, they'll always ask me that, why do you keep doing that? Because it works.
It does.
Because
it really
it's identification.
Says a lot. And it also, it makes you think for a second about your family.
Yeah.
You stop for a moment and just remember what's really important.
But at the heart of this news operation is its legendary tough street reporting.
This is your last chance to explain this to me.
From the heartbreak of September 11th,
they are looking for any signs of hope,
to celebrity drama.
Did you ever coach Dylan into making up those accusations? Feels like a freezer out there.
Rosanna and Ernie have been anchoring side by side for 2 years now.
We share an office, so we're like brother and sister, and our families are blended.
And can you believe this? Rosanna has a 17-year-old daughter, Jenna Ruggiero, who's considering going into TV news.
I have a daughter who's doing Teen Kids News also on Fox 5 in New York, and it's wonderful that, I don't know if she's going to follow in my footsteps, but she kind of understands the business.
After 40 years, the 10 o'clock news is celebrating an eventful milestone. Here's to the next 40.
Thank you for watching.
And happy 40th to all at the 10 o'clock news.
Still to come, Lindsay Lohan's dad. First night of freedom. Exclusive access as he returns home after 2 years in prison.
Hey, hey, hey!
Closed caption sponsorship for Inside Edition is brought to you by...
If you want to quit smoking, today's your day. Introducing new Commit Cherry Lozenges. Quitting smoking just got a little tastier.
Stay tuned. There's more Inside Edition Weekend to come.
Fox Monday, with just 3 episodes left. The season's final chapter begins.
You want to get caught?
An all-new prison rig. Then, America is under attack, and time is running out.